Hey guys, and welcome to another block spotlight. Now in this spotlight I'm going to take a look at the Force Infuser from the Dartcraft mod. Now before we can get started with that, I'll have to show you how to make this thing, because you can't just craft it. So first of all, you'll have to find some of this stuff. Now what is this? These are power ores and nether ores. Now they both drop force force crystals or something. Force gems, sorry. Okay, so what you want to do is find some of these ores and mine them, and you'll get force gems out of these, as you can see. Alright, same thing is true for the nether ores, which are the ones that spawn in the nether, of course. And yeah, so when you've got a couple of these, you can get started. The first thing you'll need is some force ingots. Alright, so you'll just, oh sorry, it's the other way around. So one of those over there and some iron ingots surrounding that. So you need some of these force ingots, and I'll just, you know, make a whole bunch of those. There we go, a stack of force ingots. And this is basically the first step. Now next you'll need to get yourself some force nuggets by just throwing an ingot into your crafting grid. And that's basically what you need to get started, because you need these to craft yourself, oh sorry, it's the other way around, to craft yourself a force rod. Alright. Okay, so once you've got your force rod, and you'll notice this is actually a fairly weak one, like it doesn't have a lot of uses left, and that's because I used a stick rather than a, I think it's a force stick or something. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so force stick. So you can get these from force wood, but okay, let's say you just have regular wood, so you get a stick and make a force rod, and this should be enough for you to get started. So I'll quickly jump back to daytime here, and what you want to do next is place down a block of obsidian and right click that with your force rod, and here we are, our Force Infuser. So that's how you make the Force Infuser. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple to do. And yeah, before we continue, I would like to show you the next component of the Force Infuser, which is a requirement to use it, and that is of course an upgrade tome. Alright, so I've got one in here, maximum tier, but I'll show you how to make these things. So what you want to do is, and I'm not sure I've got enough charge on my force rod left, so I'm just going to, whoa, that's a shovel, going to get me a fully charged one. So you've got a book here, and you just throw that on the ground, and then you right click it with the force rod, and now you have a tier 1 upgrade tome. Alright, so you can place that in the slot up here, and then as well, you might have already figured out, you need to put some force gems in here. Alright, and that will turn it into liquid force. Now one thing I would like to note, so it basically generates one bucket of liquid force for each force gem, sorry. But if you get yourself a squeezer from forestry, if you have forestry installed, of course, let's get ourselves an energy cell here. Alright, so I'll just throw that in there for a second. Then let's set that up over here. Alright, there we go. You can turn the force gems into liquid force as well, and as you can see, it's quite a bit more than a single bucket. Like, it's not 2 buckets, but it's quite a bit more. Alright, and of course this is a liquid which can be transported to pipes and everything, so keep that in mind. And of course you can get a lot of more liquid force using a squeezer, so that's more efficient, so keep that in mind when you're when you've got forestry installed. Okay, so now that we had a look at that, let's note the final requirement for the Force Infuser, and that's this bar here. And as you will notice, it says Minecraft joules, so 0 Minecraft joules, which basically indicates that you need to provide power to this. Alright, so I'm going to throw it away. There we are. I'm going to throw a redstone energy cell behind there, and this will slowly start filling up our power bar here. Okay. So that's basically the requirements for the Force Infuser. You need an upgrade tome here, some Force gems, or just liquid force pumped directly into the block. So here I'm using Force gems. And yeah, also of course some power. This uses Minecraft joules. It might be possible it also takes Dartcraft EUs. I'm not entirely sure of that, but I can actually quickly test that for you guys. So just going to, oh no, quickly get this back. No, come on, there we are. Right, so it's not fully charged yet, and let's say I'm going to get me an MFSU. All right, not sure if this is fully charged when placed down. No, apparently not. So let's get ourselves a battery here. All right, so I'll just throw some of that in there. Oh, sorry, it has to go in the bottom slot, of course. No, that does not appear to be working. All right, so it only takes Minecraft joules, so that's good to keep in mind. Oh, I damaged my beautiful force pickaxe, so let's quickly get another one. It's not really all that important, but I like my undamaged items, of course. So yeah, that does apparently not work with Dartcraft EUs. So let's get ourselves another redstone energy cell here. Place it back down there, and yeah, now it's gonna get fully charged. And let's have a look at what you can do with the Force Infuser. Now we've just covered all of the setup for the device, well, machine, table, whatever. And now we're going to have a look at how you use this. So you've noticed that the upgrade tome here is tier 1, so that's the lowest tier you can get. There's also a tier 0, but you usually, well, normally start with a tier 1 upgrade tome by right-clicking a book, as you have noticed before. So I've got a tier 7 one in my inventory here, and this is basically the maximum tier. Now you can hold shift and hover over this, and in case of the tier 7 one it will say mastered. In case of the tier 1 upgrade tome, it will say it currently has 0 force points and the next tier is at 96 force points. Okay, so tier 2 requires 96 force points. Now what is this? Well, you'll notice that in a second. Now what this Force Infuser can do for you is basically it can make your items more powerful. Now, for example, let's say you get a force sword, and if you have a quick look at that, you'll need a force stick for that, along with some force ingots, right? So that makes a force sword. And let's say you've got yourself a force sword, and you throw that in the Force Infuser. Let's start at tier 0. What can you do at tier 0? Well, for example, you can add a force aspect to it by throwing a force nugget into the grid at the top here. And of course, you can also place 2 in there, because as you can see there are 2 slots enabled. So these are grayed out, you can't use those, but you can use these at the top. Now I'm going to just use 1 to demonstrate. And yeah, so you've got our force nugget in here. Of course you can also place it here, doesn't really matter. And our force sword in the middle. So the item you want to make more powerful, you have to place in the middle slot, of course. And then you'll have the go button enabled. So as you can see, if there's nothing in there, it won't be enabled. If you try to add aspects to it with items that don't work for the particular item you're trying to sort of enchant, you know, you won't get this arrow enabled until you take them out of the grid. So I'm going to press go here, and you'll see this little progress bar going. And now we have a force sword with knockback 1. Alright, so basically this Force Nugget, when combined in the Force Infuser with a Force Sword, will give you a knockback 1 Force Sword. Now you can throw this back in here to add additional enchants. That's why I made a copy of the sword before I got started. So I'll just get rid of that real fast, and yeah. So that gives you an idea of what this does. Now to quickly head back to our upgrade tome here, if you have a look, it now contains 26 force points. Alright, so you need a higher tier for specific types of improvements of aspects you might want to add to your items, and while you use this Force Infuser, you will collect force points to upgrade your upgrade tome to a higher tier. So basically you will get a higher tier automatically as you use the Force Infuser. And of course the maximum tier is 7, which takes quite a while. Now of course you might have figured out already that you need to well, you will get more force points from higher tier aspects you add to your items. So for example, it will take a lifetime to add a lifetime's maybe somewhat exaggerated, but quite a long time if you're going to use just tier 0 aspects on your force items to get to tier 7. But if you use, for example, the highest tier every time, you'll get there a lot faster. Alright, so now we've seen knockback on our sword. Now you might be wondering, hey, we've got two slots here. Alright, and knockback is, well, it can, for example, you can get a knockback 2 diamond sword normally. So can I throw 2 force nuggets in here to get a knockback 2 sword? Well, let's have a look. So we'll have our progress bar going here again. And here we are, a knockback 2 sword. So that's basically the point here. You can combine different types of aspects, or for example the same aspect. You can't of course get let's say knockback 3 because it does not exist in Minecraft, but you can get knockback 2. So if for example you would have 3 slots available here and you throw 3 force nuggets in there, you would well, you would only get knockback 2, of course. Alright, so I'm not going to go over every type of item you can use here to add aspects. I will link to the FTB wiki page for the Force Infuser, which basically lists every type of aspect you can use, but I will go over a couple of things. So now we've seen the knockback aspect added by the Force Nugget. Alright, now the Force Nugget has some other and important uses I would like to really demonstrate to you. And let's say we have ourselves a mining drill. Alright, this is of course an industrial craft item, so you do need industrial craft installed for this, and you can add a Force Nugget to that, and let's see what happens. Alright, so this turns your regular mining drill into a power drill, which as you can see stores a bit more use. And the same thing will happen if you do this with a chainsaw, so it will turn into a power chainsaw. Sorry, not a power chainsaw, but rather a power saw. Okay, so yeah, you can basically improve your industrial craft items. So I'll quickly demonstrate you the power saw. So we'll get a chainsaw here. Oh, sorry, chainsaw. There we go. And yeah, I'll throw this in here, add a force nugget, start the well, enchantment sort of, and there we go, 1 power saw. Now you can't do anything else with this, unfortunately, but before we continue, I would like to demonstrate to you. We've currently got 29 force points on here. Let's go to tier 2 by doing something more powerful. So let's say you have yourself a force pickaxe here, and let's get some sugar. Now you can see sugar shows the speed aspect. Alright, so you've got, for example, sight here for night vision poison, grinding for flint, heat for coal, Over here we've got sturdy for obsidian. Bricks are also sturdy. Heat will also be on charcoal or blaze rods. So some items you have, well, different types of items with the same aspect. So here we've got holding for the force flask, force for the force nugget, healing for the gas tier. There's also regular tiers. I'm not entirely sure where you get those. There's touch for cobweb, which as you might imagine gives you silk touch, of course. There's bleed for arrow. So there's different types of items with aspects you can use in here. And the sugar here gets you the speed aspect. And you might already have an idea what this will do for you when you use it on a force pickaxe. As you can see, you get the speed 2 aspect here, and we've currently got 37 more force points to go. So I'm quickly going to repeat this, but you know, let's try something else. Let's get rid of this. Let's try a force axe. Well, I can get myself a force log. Here we are, some force logs, and as you can see here, this gets you the lumberjack aspect. And yeah, let's say I'm also going to get me some more sugar. All right, there we go. And let's see what happens with this. Okay, so I'm going to throw this power drill out of here to have some inventory space there. So now we have the force axe with lumberjack and speed 1. And lumberjack basically allows you to make to break every stacked piece of wood instantly. Well, not instantly, but at the same time. So for example, I've got 2 force logs here. I think this should probably work on force logs. Yeah, there we go. So you get some fancy particle effects, and it will basically break every stacked piece of wood at the same time. There we go. Alright, so of course keep in mind this will make your axe lose more durability faster. So that's the downside of some of these aspects. They decrease the durability of your items really fast. Alright, so we have, yeah, let's say 1 more item to enchant before we get to the next tier. And one I would love to demonstrate to you is, let's see, let's get a pickaxe here. Alright, and let's throw some heat on there, along with, let's say, yeah, let's say we get some sugar for speed. So combining heat and speed on the force pickaxe. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you using some, let's say, iron ore. Let's keep it simple. So we've got some iron ore. Oh yeah, there's some iron ore here. Very nice. Wow, this spawns above the ground now. Okay, so let's get our new heat pickaxe. So this is no longer a force pickaxe. It's now a heat pickaxe with speed 1. And what this will do, as you can see, it will turn your iron ore instantly into an iron ingot. Alright, very convenient. Okay, so now I've got iron ingots on the ground here. Don't really have the inventory space, but let's throw out that. So yeah, it instantly turns our ores into ingots. It's very nice. Alright, so over here we can see we now have a tier 2 upgrade tome, and the next tier requires 141 upgrade points, and as you can see we now have 3 slots enabled. So as you upgrade more items you will reach higher tiers until you reach tier 7, which is the maximum one. So I'm going to throw out this upgrade tome and throw in my maximum tier 1. Now you can see every slot is enabled. So I'm going to take you through a couple of interesting enchants here. And let's, for example, try ourselves another pickaxe. And yeah, so we had the heat aspect. Now when you have, for example, thermal expansion or industrial craft installed, you can use the flint for the grinding aspect. So you might already imagine what this will do. So let's, for example, try just the grinding. Let's add some speed to that. All right. So this will take a second to enchant because there's that many different items. And there we go. We have ourselves a grinding force pickaxe with speed 3. Great. Now let's place down some more iron ores. Okay, so here we are. Some more iron ores. Hey, some piggies in the distance. Alright. So when we use our force pickaxe now, it will turn these iron ores into iron dusts. Well, in this case pulverized iron, I think. So I'm going to throw this out. Yeah, there we go. So we've got some pulverized iron from this. So basically it takes over the function of a pulverizer or a macerator, which can also be very convenient. Now you might be wondering, well, let's say we have a force pickaxe, alright, and we get our grinding aspect on there. So we've seen what that does, and we've seen what the heat aspect does. So that turns your pickaxe into a heat pickaxe. So you might be wondering, well, what if I combine these? What will happen? Okay, so I'm going to throw some speed on there, and let's see what else we might be able to throw on there. Yeah, maybe some luck. So I've got some fortune cookies here. You can eat those. Alright, very tasty. And let's head back into our inventory here. Now you will see, apparently, oh yeah, here we are. So you get a fortune from this. So you can right click that. It says that everyone experiences hardships, but God really must really hate you. Alright, so not a very nice fortune. But yeah, let's throw some luck in there. And let's start the enchantment here. So as you can see, this will be a lot slower. So luck is a tier 2 enchantment. Also, I'll have a quick look here at the recipe for fortune cookies. So basically you'll simply want to combine a cookie with some paper, and of course this is just a basic vanilla recipe. And now we have a heat pickaxe with grinding, speed 3 and fortune 1. Alright. And well, we'll see what happens here. Oh wow, 2 pieces of iron. Okay, so this will basically macerate your iron and then heat it up to create iron ingots. So you get 2 of them. So that's nice. It's like a whole industrial craft setup in one tool. It's very convenient. Okay, so that's something interesting you can do with that. So now let's see. This is, I think it's tier 3, the cobweb. And let's, for example, combine that with well, some speed, of course. You like speed. I'm not entirely sure. I think you can probably get speed 5. I'm not sure. Let's see what that does. I'm not super familiar with every vanilla enchantment, but I think speed 5 might be possible. Oh, this is already enchanted. Okay. I did not notice that. So let's get ourselves a new shovel. There we go. And yeah, let's see what else we might want to put on there. So let's try a higher level enchantment. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to throw some sturdy in here. Now you can get this from obsidian or bricks, so it doesn't really matter which of the two you use, whatever you have the most of. Maybe obsidian is more convenient if you have a big industrialization setup. So that is 2 pieces of sturdy, 5 pieces of speed, and 1 piece of touch. Right, and this is going to take a while because there's quite a bit in there. So let's quickly take a walk around my entire setup here. Okay, so we're back here and we're almost done. As you can see, this also has the nice forestry tooltips, which can be convenient at times, certainly if you're just figuring out how this works. And here we are. Now we have a force shovel with speed 5, so it's very fast, unbreaking 2, and silk touch 1. So that's the highest level of silk touch you can get, of course. So wow, that's a really fast shovel. Okay, wow, very nice. Okay, so I'm sort of ruining my world here. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys something to think about. So let's first get some stone. Okay, some regular old stone, nothing all too special. Let's set that up here. So a couple of blocks of stone, and yeah, I'm going to throw this back out. Go in here, get myself a force pickaxe. And what am I going to put on here? Well, let's get some heat, along with, let's say, grinding. Okay, and I'm going to add a bit of speed to that, and let's quickly make ourselves this item. There we go. So heat pickaxe with grinding and speed 2. So you might be wondering now, well, we've seen what this does to our iron, so it turns it into multiple iron ingots. But what does this do to stone? Well, think about it. What does grinding do to stone? Cobblestone more actually, but I think it works with stone as well. Certainly when you mine it, it turns into cobblestone. So let's say cobblestone, what happens when you throw that into a macerator? Well, it turns into sand. And what happens when you heat up sand? Well, it turns into glass. So this might be hard to believe, but here we go. One piece of glass. So with this pickaxe you can basically make glass by mining stone. That's really awesome. So quite a bit of glass there. Also some gravel, because sometimes you get gravel when you throw stone into a pulverizer. So that's really neat. So that's something you can do with that. Might be fun to play around with. Okay, so let's quickly have a look here. I am going to show you guys what to do with, let's say, oh yeah, this is a nice one. So let's get ourselves a, well, this, we don't need that, another force rod. So there we go, we've got our force rod, and let's throw the potion of night vision on there. Okay, what will happen? We get ourselves a rod of vision. Okay, so let's go to turn off the rain first and go to midnight. Okay, got our rod of vision. You right click it, and wow, we've got night vision. You can click it a couple of times to get 3 minutes of night vision. Very nice, very convenient. So this is the rod of vision. So there's different types of rods you can make with this. It's very convenient. Certainly the vision rod if you're out at night. So I'm going to quickly jump back to daytime. Alright, now something else which is quite interesting is, we need something for this. Let's get ourselves a battery and maybe also an energy crystal. So let's start with the battery. So we can throw, apparently we can't throw battery in there. Maybe energy crystal? Maybe it can be charged. Okay, so I'll try an uncharged one. Yeah, there we go. So you can't throw charged batteries or energy crystals in there. But let's try the energy crystal. No point in doing both, really. And why is this not working? Oh yeah, okay, so you can't use this on pickaxes, but you can use it on force armor. So let's get ourselves a force tunic, for example. Throw that in there, and let's combine that with our energy crystal, which has charge 2 as aspect. Okay, so combining it, and here we go, a light tunic. Okay, so this can store 100 and 1000 EUs, and well, I can only imagine that this gives off light, so I haven't really tried that before, but that's probably what it does. And yeah, so let's get ourselves a new battery then, seeing as you can't combine the energy crystal with pickaxe, for example, but you can apparently also not combine it with a battery. Sorry. Okay, well, I have to take a quick look. I haven't actually used batteries. Okay, so that's basically the same, so you can use it on force armor, and yeah, not with items. Weird. Okay, well, that's that basically. So let's throw out our battery, and yeah, so what else can we do? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's an interesting one. So let's get a soul wafer. Oh yeah, we've got some in here already. So I'll quickly open my Force Infuser here. Let's get a Force Sword in there. Throw in the soul wafer. And let's see what this does. Ooh, nothing. Well, normally this should give you a sword with the Soul Stealer enchant, but to be honest, I'm not sure what mod adds that, so it doesn't really do anything for me right now. But that should give you Soul Stealer. Ooh, this is a fun one. Let's get ourselves the Force Rod again. Let's throw in an Ender Pearl in there. So this has the Ender aspect. Alright. This is tier 5, I think, the Ender Pearl. And yeah, here we go. We've got a Rod of Return. Alright. So what does this thing do for you? Well, let's have a look. You first, well, if you right click this, it says the rod hasn't been initialized. So you have to do something with it before you can actually use it. So going to crouch here, so you have to press shift to crouch, and then you get you know, you get this box with coordinates, and you can press set, and then you get your current coordinates and dimension, and you press save. Alright, now you have a Rod of Return which you can run about with. So let's say, ooh, some sheep over here. Going to have a quick look at these sheep. Hey, little sheep. Hey, wait. Okay, not far enough. But let's say, you know, you're out here somewhere. Hey, there appears to be a Dartcraft obelisk over there. Let's say you're out here somewhere, and oh wait, you can no longer see the area where you came from, or you're really far away, you know, and yeah, so what are you going to do now? You don't know how to get back home. Okay, so what now? Well, right click with your Rod of Return, and here we are. So it basically allows you to teleport, and that can also give you some really neat particle effects when you keep clicking it. But anyway, so yeah, allows you to teleport back home or wherever you initialized the rod. So again, very convenient. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave it at that. So I showed you quite a few of the upgrades. There's way too much to show you everything, but I'll link to the wiki page, which has a whole extensive explanation about every type of aspect you can combine with your items. So I hope you enjoyed the spotlight. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.